I want to talk to you about something that's a bit uncomfortable and many couples just don't talk about. You've been with your partner for years. You're still close. You love each other. But when it comes to sex, something is just different. Is it just aging? Is it stress? Or is there something deeper happening? If you have found yourself asking, why is sex getting harder? Literally and emotionally, you're not alone. And you're not broken. At the end of this video, I'll give you 3 things you can do today to begin reconnecting with your partner and rebuilding intimacy. No pressure, no shame, just small steps that actually work. I am Mark Goldberg, a certified sex therapist and the founder of EIQmen.com, a platform built for men who want real answers to complex issues like erectile dysfunction, performance anxiety, and emotional disconnection. At EIQ Men, we offer self-guided courses, private coaching, and educational content to help you take back control of your sexual health and relationships. If you're here, chances are you're feeling disconnected, frustrated, or maybe even hopeless. You want to understand what's happening. You want to feel close to your partner again. And you want your body to work with you, not against you. The good news is you don't have to figure this out alone. Let's talk about how erectile dysfunction impacts long-term relationships and what you can do to change that story. When you're in a long-term relationship, sex becomes more than just physical. It's emotional. It's part of how you feel wanted, how you connect. How do you feel alive? When ED shows up, it doesn't just interrupt sex. It interrupts your identity, your sense of closeness, trust. You might start avoiding intimacy altogether, not because you don't love your partner, but because you're afraid to let them down, fearful of the awkward silence, the disappointed look, or that unspoken tension. That silence, your partner feels it too. They may start wondering if it's about them, if they're not attractive enough, if you've lost interest in them. And slowly, intimacy becomes something you tiptoe around. Both of you are walking on eggshells instead of leaning in and thriving. This is why ED can feel so much heavier in long-term relationships, because the relationship is supposed to be safe. When safety is disrupted, the ripple effects are much larger. Erectile dysfunction is not just a bedroom issue. It's a relationship issue, a self-esteem issue, a communication issue. For many couples, ED becomes the thing that no one talks about. You make jokes, you try again, and it happens again. And soon, you're living in a quiet, polite disconnect. This can breed resentment, shame, loneliness on both sides, because your partner wants to feel chosen, desired. They want to know they still let you up. And you want to feel capable, confident, and wanted too. But instead, both of you are left in silence, and that silence builds walls. Over time, those walls could turn into entire emotional rooms you stop entering altogether. This is where many couples drift apart, not because they don't love each other, but because they never learned how to name what's happening and walk through this situation together. If ED is creating distance, the antidote is connection, not just physical, but emotional. And that starts with communication, talking. Now, I know you might be thinking, talking about this will only make things worse. But here's the truth. Silence is what makes it worse. Silence turns something that's already hard into something even more difficult. You don't have to solve it overnight. You don't even need all the answers, but you do need to name what's happening. When you say it out loud, you strip it of some of its power. You take it out of the shadows where shame grows and bring it into the light where intimacy can thrive. Start small. You don't need a perfect speech. Even something as simple as, I've been struggling with this. I don't want it to come between us. Can we talk about it? That could be a huge turning point. The key here is tone. Approach it with honesty, not defensiveness. Vulnerability, not excuses. That single act of honesty can shift the entire energy of your relationship. And remember, communication doesn't just mean words. It's also about how you show up. Looking your partner in the eyes, holding their hand, letting them see you in the fear and the uncertainty. That's powerful. Your partner doesn't need you to be perfect. They don't even need you to have everything figured out. What they need, most of all, is to feel included, not shut out. They need to know that you still choose them, even in this struggle. When you open up, you're sending the message, you're still my person. I don't want to go through this without you. That's what builds trust. That's what creates safety. And safety is the soil where intimacy can grow again. Sex therapy and couples counseling can help you both navigate the emotional and physical layers of ED. Sometimes erectile dysfunction is about a medical or hormonal issue. But often, especially when it's inconsistent, it's about stress, unresolved conflict, shame, or emotional fatigue. Therapy gives you those tools. Tools to have these conversations without blame. Tools to reduce performance pressure. Tools to rediscover intimacy and pleasure. It's not about fixing you. It's about reframing the way you both approach intimacy. It's about building safety, curiosity, and playfulness back into your relationship. Couples who work through this together often report that their connection actually becomes stronger because they stop avoiding, they stop guessing, and they start facing it as a team. Now, let's talk about 3 practical things you can start this week. No pressure, just a connection. The first is creating a no pressure intimacy zone. Pick one evening where sex is completely off the table. Instead, spend time together physically, cuddling, massaging, holding hands, without any expectation of a physiological response. This rebuilds safety and reminds both of you that closeness is not conditional on performance. The second is sharing a memory of desire. Tell your partner about a time you felt close or turned on, not as a performance report, but as a way to rekindle curiosity and openness. These stories spark emotional intimacy and often reignite attraction in unexpected ways. And the third is practicing grounding before intimacy. Try 1 minute of breathing together. Inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 6. This calms the nervous system and shifts you both out of a performance mode and into a mode of being present with one another. These steps may sound simple, but they do work. They create momentum, and they start reshaping the story you tell yourselves about intimacy. Erectile dysfunction doesn't have to be the end of your intimate life. For many couples, it can be the beginning of a new and oftentimes deeper chapter. When you remove pressure, increase honesty, and focus on connection, not just the performance side, you rediscover what brought you together in the first place. If you're ready to stop avoiding this issue and start rebuilding your relationship, we can help. Visit us at eiqmen.com to learn more about private coaching and couples coaching. Because intimacy doesn't end when erection changes. It evolves, and you can grow with it.